Guys, welcome back. This is the second part of my recent returns. So this one, there's a bit of a mix and match. There's some old back stuff, some new back stuff, and there's a little kind of bundle of modern stuff as well. So I'm just going to run through it quickly just to kind of show off the grades. Let me move all this stuff to one side. Didn't really get as good a grade as I had hoped for on some of this stuff, but I can't really complain about it, to be honest. I can actually kind of see why. So one of the first cards was this. I think I got it for like $15, something like that, in Japan, and I just liked the artwork. But when you look at the card, it's very, very clean on the front. There's no kind of visible imperfections, but when it's come back, it's got an 8 on the surface, 7.5 corners, 7.5 edges, and at first glance there's a little bit of kind of very, very minor whitening on the edges, nothing terrible. It's just really along that top edge that you can see. Maybe on that side there's a little bit as well, but it's actually it's actually worse than I thought it was. That you can kind of see down here where it's came a little bit, but the I think the reason it's been dinged so much is it's quite hard to show off, but there's a little bit of a kind of peeling in the corner, or not peeling, but it's like a bend in the corner. So I've obviously missed that one. Still a nice card to look at, but it's going to just go on my eBay as well. There's a few other ones of these in here as well. So I had been picking up these hollow trainers from the gym sets. I think these were like in some construction decks or gym decks. Typically they're non-hollow, but in the decks they come as a hollow card. So yeah, I just like these. I was going to try and keep them for my own collection, but I think what I'm actually going to do is pick up some just to keep in a binder set. So I will probably be listing the graded ones. So they're all very, very clean. I think the only one that I never picked up is the Misty's card, and I think for some reason I didn't grade the Erica, I think it was. So everything else apart from the Erica and the Misty is in here. I don't know why I didn't grade the Erica, because I've got the Erica's one in the binder. So I'm not sure. Not looked over this one to see why it got dinged and brought down to 7.5 on corners and edges. I didn't think it looked terrible. You can see there's a little bit of whitening and stuff, but I've seen worse, so I'm not sure on that one. I get these two 8s back. So the first one is the Dark Hypno from the English Team Rocket set. Quite a nice card. All of these are still really, really clean for them being old back, so they're still, hopefully should still sell fairly well. They're not as beat up as you see like in a PSA 8. There's like a lot of noticeable whitening in the back, but these ones are actually pretty good. I got an 8 in the Typhlosion, so I think I had an 8.5 in the previous video, and I think I've got a 9 in this as well, so that'll probably be on another video. Yeah, this is the 8.5 pile. So this is the Sabrina's card again. It's one of the hollow gym leader cards. I don't know, I actually really like these in slabs, so maybe I will keep them. I'm not sure. But yeah, my plan was pretty much just I was going to do a Japanese binder of like all the hollows from all the Neo sets and all the gym sets and stuff. So I was going to start off with the trainers, but I am not sure what I'll do now. Maybe I'll keep them, maybe I'll sell it, who knows. They're all really clean. I think these cards would cross quite well if I was ever to send them to PSA. Not that I will, because they are quite low value, but you can see like for old back cards they're very, very clean. There's no real edge wear or anything like that. So this is the Blaine's card from the same set, so let's get a better centering grade, which is quite good. But I speak to quite a few people on like Instagram and stuff that are not really that familiar with how CGC grades, so that's why I kind of try and show off the back quickly just so they can see, because there's some people that I speak to that are going to be starting to grade with them and would like to know how their cards are going to grade. So yeah, like you can see how clean like an 8.5 is. They're still really nice cards. I get 2 of these. I was actually hoping to get a 9. It's a little bit annoying that this one was half a grade off a 9 and that one had worse corners, so it's just the, yeah, I know I said it in the last video, but it's the centering that still bugs me. I think a few of them on a different day could have got a little bit better. I don't know why I submitted 2 of these. I think I just had 2 that were fairly clean. Again, the gym challenge cards, I just think the artwork for me for like the gym series cards, the Neo cards, not so much like base set Jungle Fossil. I think they're good, but I just think the artwork on the gym cards, it kind of takes off all the way through to Neo Destiny, and then it kind of dips down a little bit. So this one's a base set Mewtwo. That was a little bit annoying that it was so close to getting a 9 as well, but I don't know why it got an 8.5 on the surface. I think it's probably to do with this scratch here on the left. Apart from that, it still looks good. So this box came back with I think I was talking about it in my last video, that they're changing over, CGC are changing to having white inserts. So this box came back with the white inserts, and I was hoping it would have made them less dusty, but it's basically just made the dust it's made the dust white instead of like a plain cardboard cover. So we'll see how they look whenever I scan them, if I still have to kind of clean them at the same level as well. Got one of these in the last sub that I done, I think in the same grade. And I think I got one of these in a 9 as well. I'm actually still kind of trying to list all the stuff on my eBay. I've just been quite busy recently with various things, so I've not had a chance to put everything online yet. Everything, or pretty much everything, I think apart from this sub, has been scanned in, so it's all ready to go anyway. Well, that's got quite a bad corner on that. What did that get? So it got an 8.5 for corners. See, that's something that I would disagree with. I wouldn't say that that's an 8.5 corners. I would say that should be worse, personally. Like if I was to start comparing the corners there on this card to that one, I don't think they're quite as bad. Whereas this has got an 8. The 2 of them have got the same corner grade. I know there can be other things, like there could be a scratch or a dent or something on the, well, not at an 8.5, but if it was a little bit lower, but I think that's quite generous for an 8.5 corners, but it is what it is. So in the 9 pile, I have got, I think most of it's kind of fairly new stuff. So we've got this secret rare from Tag Bolt. It's quite a nice card. What did that get? A 10 on corners. I think from this sub I only get 110 back. Yeah, so I think there's another video that I done where I done like a 30 card sub, and it was all standard, so it was a bit easier, but from like 30 odd cards I get like 10 and 11 CGC 10s back, which was quite good. I actually sold the Perfect 10 Articuno recently, and heard back that cross graded to a Black Label BGS 10, which is quite interesting to know. I'm trying to think of the guy's Instagram page if you want to see it, but he crossed over, I think it was 7 cards that were CGC Perfect 10s, and I think 2 of them crossed over to a Black Label. I think he got a couple that crossed over to Pristine, and some of them only crossed to a BGS 9.5, which was quite interesting. I think his page is, I can't even check because I'm recording this on my phone, I think it's Gengar Guy, with 2 spaces in between Gengar and Guy. Is it Gengar Guy or Gengar Gang? I can't remember. Let me see if I can, I don't even think I can look it up. Let me check this computer in front of me, just so that I'm not getting the name wrong. Check my messages. So it is Gengar Gang with two underscores between Gengar and Gang. if you want to look him up and you can see his results. But yeah, I think from 7 CGC Perfect 10s, only 2 crossed to a BGS Black Label. So the Articuno that I sold, that I had in one of my videos, was one of the cards. So that's quite interesting to know. I actually thought more would have crossed, but it wasn't to be. But these are quite strong 9s, like all 9 subgrades, which is good. Again, quite clean on the back. So yeah, quite happy overall. There's a few cards that I would kind of, 1 or 2 that I would I'm not as happy with it. But I think, to be honest, it's mostly been my fault. Like that Venusaur, the 8.5 corners, probably should have been worse, and I don't know how I've missed the little corner thing. These, one thing that's quite annoying about the secret rares from Japanese sets is, although they tend to be very clean on like the surface corners and edges, it's always the centre that lets them down. Like this card is it's quite off on the right border compared to the bottom left or the top one. So like some of these I would really like to get in a 10 if I can, but I've not really had any luck so far. This one I might keep because I've got a little bit of a kind of slab collection of trainer cards, of the full art trainers. And I quite like this one. It was cheap as well. I've not really got much cost in the card. It would have been nice if it had come back a 10, but yeah, I'll maybe keep trying and see if I can get a 10 in some of these. This is another one I would like a 10 in, but again, it's quite a strong 9.5. Pretty nice. Yeah, as I said, hopefully I will be stopping submitting to CGC soon. Just kind of waiting to see when PSA open up this next tier that they've said that they were supposed to be opening up in Q4, which obviously finishes at the end of December. So it would be interesting. Quite a nice card. These ones don't sell too well. Like I know the Japanese like female full art trainer cards, some of them go for quite a lot of money, but there's some of them that don't really sell too well. Like I think I've got like a few from another sub that I've just had no interest at all. This one was annoying because it was only a half grade away from a CGC 10, which would have been nice to get a 10 and a Charizard, and obviously with it being like a 12-year-old card, that would have been quite cool. So it's got perfect corners, perfect edges. It's just a half grade on the surface, unfortunately. And then the 110 that I did get is this last card, which is a Mimikyu from Single Strike Master, so I'm quite happy with that. I didn't think the centering would have been perfect on it, but it is. And it's just it's been docked a little half mark on the edges. I don't know if it's maybe something like, again, I think I've shown this in some other videos, but on a lot of modern cards you tend to get this kind of little rough edge just on the left, the top left part of the card. So I don't know if it's from that, I'm not sure. But anyway, it graded a 10, which is pretty nice. So yeah, that's it for this sub. I'll probably try and go through the third box at some point tomorrow or Wednesday, and I'll try and get it uploaded. Anybody's got any questions about the cards, anything you want to buy, then you can obviously check out my eBay. Get 10% off if you want to do something off eBay. And as always, if you want to kind of speak to me about anything on Instagram, I like getting to know more people in the hobby. It's always good, so feel free to drop me a message. Cheers.